David Knight for Infowars.com. Breaking news out of London. Shortly after 10 p.m., it was reported that a van drove at high speed on London Bridge into a crowd of people, and that three men then jumped out with 10 to 12-inch long knives, began slitting throats, stabbing a young girl in the chest, and so on. There were multiple gunshots fired very rapidly. Perhaps that was the police. This is yet another example of the mayor of London, Mayor Khan. Many people call it Londonistan because that's what it's become now. It's become a Muslim stronghold, just like we see in other parts of Europe, saying that this is part and parcel of living in a big city. Well, certainly it's part and parcel of living in his Muslim area there in London. And this is a result, this is the direct design of what we see here at Bilderberg. We're here covering this in Chantilly, Virginia. It is the globalist plan to open our borders, to bring in people who hate us, terrorists who are going to come here so they can divide the country, so they can create chaos, so they can create division. Understand that even though we cannot vet the people fully who are coming into the countries, that it's going to be the second generation that is a greater threat to our safety than the first generation. The second generation will grow up in a self-ghettoized environment where they're very poor, very resentful. They don't know what they left. They don't know that this area, even if they are growing up in a poor, self-ghettoized Islamic area, that they're still better off than where they came from. We're seeing over and over again that the people who are doing the terrorist events, the terrorist attacks, are second-generation immigrants. Of course, they identify them as French or they identify them as British. Nevertheless, these are people who have come in from other countries. This is what we're going to see. This is part of the globalist plan. They want to create, this is their multiculturalism, having multiple cultures and religions that are fighting each other. Understand that religion and politics are inextricably linked in true Islam. This is what we're seeing here. We saw this at one point in time in Christianity, the linking of politics and religion. We understood we didn't want that. We separated that. The First Amendment is about that. The founding of America was largely about that. It was a religious movement here in America. The black robed clergy, that was the regiment, the black robe regiment that were supporting the separation from England because they had had an enforced orthodoxy there, a state church. They did not want that established religion here. But that is part and parcel of what is going on in Islam at this time. That is why the globalists here at Bilderberg want to open our borders, want to bring these people in, want to have us fighting these wars in other countries, creating refugees. It was Obama who went to war with the countries that we're now saying we're going to have to vet the people coming into this country. If the liberals, if the courts didn't think that these people were dangerous, that they don't need to be extremely vetted, then why did they go to war with them? Why don't they say at this point that we want to have peace rather than continuing to create refugees? That is the true issue before us at this point. We understand that this is further down the stream. You bring in the bad guys, and this is what's going to happen. This is not something that is being orchestrated now directly by these people. I don't believe it. They orchestrated putting them here in the first place. That's why they have terror cells now throughout Europe. For Infowars.com, I'm David Knight.